care as our white counterparts.
And sometimes we don't, because according to the studies, they said that we metabolize medicines differently. It's slower in our system. So what winds up happening, we get higher dosages, and it causes us to have to deal with side effects that are just, we don't want them.
Yeah.
So we wind up pushing it away, or just completely quitting treatment altogether.
Or they make it, well, I won't say they, but it's expensive.
Yes.
To get a therapist. I can't think of the website right now. I had it earlier, but there is a website that lists therapists that do free consultations.
Pro bono.
Pro bono. And there's also on Psychology Today, if you know somebody that wants a therapist, they have a listing, or they give you a list of African American therapists. Because I feel like a lot of times we want to seek help, but you want someone that can relate to you. Just like if you're going for marriage counseling, you don't want a therapist that's single. How are they going to help you in, your situation?
And that's a great problem too, because I think I read, and I think the number is right, that there are only 2% of African American psychologists.
Yeah.
You know, there's an organization called NAMI, N as in national. Let me just look at it real quick. NAMI is actually associated with, I should say, the AKA's sorority. They are associated with the National Alliance of Mental Illness. They have a tremendous plethora and wealth of knowledge on this site. If you go to the NAMI.org website, you'll find a ton of information that is helpful for the African American community, in addition to other communities, but they specifically give you information that can help the African American community. They have a helpline, in fact, at 800-950-NAMI, National Alliance on Mental Illness. If you want to email them, you can email them at info@nami.org. They're open from Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Text NAMI, N-A-M-I, to 741-741. If you know anyone who's dealing with health, mental illness challenges, please give them this information. Check out the program. When this is over, please direct people to the program. Share the program. If you wanted more information about the plants and the different things we've been talking about to help individuals with mental health awareness and or deal with it, even for yourself, because it's not something that's a bad thing. It's something that we are dealing with that's on a more, we're all finding out it's a lot more people involved in this than not. In fact, bipolar is one of the issues that is more common amongst people, more than you really know. But go to thedrip.com, email us at thedrippodcast19@gmail.com, and we will send you the information. We've got some videos that will tell you what kind of plants will be good for your household, at work as well, to increase productivity, reduce anxiety and stress. We can get that information to you. And we would love to be able to hear more from you. Share this information with us, with your friends and family. And these are major issues.
Here's a question from Ms. Marsh. Define mental illness. Is it out of your mind or depression, anger? What is mental illness?
So
I got that answer here.
One of the definitions, the DSM is a psychology, I guess, like Bible for all disorders and things of that nature. They define a mental disorder as a clinically significant behavior or psychological syndrome or pattern that occurs in an individual that presents distress or disability. It significantly increases suffering, pain, or the underlying disability. And that's, like I said, from the Psychology Bible, the DSM-5, or I believe, DSM-5, sorry. But it could be mental illness, from that definition, anything that causes you significant suffering, pain, or mental or psychological distress.
Yeah, I've got also mood disorders, including major depression, dystemic disorder, and bipolar disorders. In fact, they're the third most common cause of hospitalization in the United States for both youth and adults ages 18 to 44.
There are also, when I was reading, a lot of physical symptoms that I didn't realize are attached to mental illness. Obesity, fatigue, chronic pain, chronic joint pain, headaches, tics and twitches, and I have them written down. Eczema, I did not know because of the stress. When you're stressed, it, I guess, your body releases cortisol, which causes the eczema. It was just a lot of stuff that I didn't realize, and it was mind blowing to me. Nausea is attached to, and I'm not saying everybody who feels like they have to throw up has a mental illness, but they have done studies, and it shows that it is attached to anxiety disorders and bipolar. So it was just it's really interesting, and we might need to do part 1, part 2, part 3, because there's so much information to cover, and we're past an hour.
So Miss Jolie,
we only have so much time on the radio.
Miss Jolie will answer your question. Is depression a mental illness? It definitely is categorized as a mental illness.
Yes, it is.
In the DSM-5 and psychology books everywhere. But we definitely will get into it on the next.
We will
next episode.
Yep.
So is ADHD.
Yeah.
Yes, and that threw me for a loop.
But if you think about it, we all have some. I don't want to say issues, but things that are necessarily balanced.
Yeah.
We need to do a part 2 of this.
Yeah, we need to do
like
part 2 and part 3. Yeah, we
do. On this mug ill.
The
world is
we are ill.
Yeah, we are all ill.
You know what? I found out that one gentleman in the research, and if you go to that NAMI website, you'll find a video where there's a brother on there that talks about one of the indicators of a person who knows about psychological or mental health issues. A lot of times they'll be very empathetic. They'll have a very openness to people's, perhaps their challenges. That's a way you can tell someone who's not only aware, but is dealing with it in a way where it's positive, because you have to almost have that openness to others where they may not realize they're dealing with something and they're going over into some very difficult spaces where they just are very emotional and very hyperactive on some issues that to others might seem, why are you going off on that? It's such a trivial situation, a trivial thing. But the person that sits back and watches them and understands them, those individuals sometimes are the individuals that have dealt with those things.
Right. Or like you said, dealing with them currently.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's how some people can remain so calm in what might seem like a frantic environment.
So y'all stop telling people to get out of their feelings.
Right.
You might not necessarily
you
know.
don't want them
what
to get out of their feelings.
They're going through.
Right.
Allow them to be in that for a little bit, or walk over to them and say, hey,
smile.
Y'all like how I did that?
Yeah.
There she came full circle with it.
Whatever.
And and real quick, that's another stigma that the African American community has about mental illness, that people can just get over it.
Right.
And you
Or you're going to snap out of it. And it doesn't always happen.
Yeah, it doesn't always happen like that.
It's still there.
Yeah, I wish it was that easy. You can't just get rid of cancer.
Right.
You can't just get rid of mental illness.
You can. We just ain't got the money for it. There's a cure out there.
Well, that's another subject.
We should do conspiracy theories.
Even with regard to
conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
Next show, Cam.
Yeah. But all that still goes back to removing some things out of your diet. If we're talking about cancer, removing some people out of your life,
absolutely,
because that can be a trigger and perhaps the cause of the mental illness or concern.
Yeah.
So
this is going to be stay tuned. This is going to be a great topic. We want to leave you, left you with the information for NAMI. I want to leave you some information with MHA, Mental Health Awareness. You can call them in a crisis. They have a 24-hour crisis center, 1-800-273-TALK, 1-800-273-8255, or you can text Talk With Us to 66746 at the Disaster Distress Hotline. they have trained crisis workers who will listen to you, help you out, and direct you to the right resources. And again, you can follow us on Instagram. We'll have more information up on our Instagram page at the Drip Podcast 19, or you can email us for more information at thedrippodcast19@gmail.com. This was a great show, guys.
Awesome.
I agree.
Next week, we're going to finish up the conversation on mental illness, and it's a taboo conversation within the African American community. And we're going to dive into it. We said we wanted to be the platform for conversation. And that's what we're going to be. So, do you guys have final thoughts?
Oh, you got final thoughts?
Yeah, we are. We're over time. We're over time. Yeah.
I'm going to save them for next time. Y'all love on each other. Be kind to your neighbors. Be kind to your family. Most of all, and most important, be kind to you.
Right.
I bid thee farewell.
It's not our differences that divide us. It's our inability to recognize and accept and celebrate those differences. Let's be positive. Let's be united as a community and be caring and understanding that people have got some real deep issues going on, and we need to try to be in a space where we understand and accept those differences. Be good to you, be good to others, and as always, infuse love in everything you do. Peace.
It's the drip.